Thank you, Alex. Thanks for the opportunity. Can you guys see my screen okay?
Yes.
Awesome. All right. So firstly, before I begin, I'm just so inspired listening to some of the speakers here. Uh, Metaverse is like this big jigsaw puzzle with lots of missing pieces and, different dimensions to it. But I believe listening to these wonderful co-creators that, we are in for an exciting ride. We're going to create something that's gonna be the new way of experiential learning and trade and commerce and in the years ahead. So I'm really excited. So Lucrisma is a company that's building one of those pieces for this new type of internet, the Web3 world, the Metaverse world. What we are building is a foundational layer which provides a unified identity with some financial metadata, and we're building some financial services on top of this foundational layer. So the foundational layer basically allows us to create a unique identity for our customers, attach the financial metadata, which is the KYC, AML, the KYT, the compliance and the audit trail, and then allows them to use this identity to aggregate their assets from wherever they are. The assets could be in the real world, for example, their mobile phone and their car. It could be in their Lucrisma wallet. It could be in their MetaMask. It could be a decentralized parcel of land, right? Because of the identity, we allow them to stitch these assets into a virtual portfolio and then use the aggregated power of this virtual portfolio to leverage our financial services, the lending, the borrowing, the mortgages, the ETFs, etc. So we all know Metaverse is poised to explode, right? Some studies by the likes of Citi and Goldman Sachs have predicted that this Metaverse economy is it's probably going to have an exponential growth in the next 7-8 years, and probably would get to a 13 trillion mark. Some studies say 13 trillion, some 8, but it's regardless of which study you go by, it's going to have an exponential increase in the next few years, right? We've also done a lot of quantitative and qualitative research to see what kind of users would be using the metaverse and the economy that it brings, right? And obviously, there are certain constraints, and some of my fellow speakers today are trying to solve those constraints. But currently, the way to experience this new web is to wear Oculus like devices or have those wrist contraptions, etc. But not everybody is going to do that, right? So, for example, my father, who is in his 70s, I gave him a pair of Oculus devices to wear. He liked the experience for a few minutes, and after that, he was like, I'm not gonna, ever wear them again, right? So not everybody is gonna be in the metaverse all their time going forward, right? So we did a lot of study to understand what kind of people will gravitate towards this market, towards this new web. And one of the things that we were keen to solve is people who choose to not sit in the metaverse with their Oculus device. How do we give them an opportunity to partake in the new investment opportunities and new economy that's opening up through the metaverse, and vice versa? People who are going to be in the metaverse for a long time, who'll spend hours every day in the metaverse, how do we give them the ability to still partake in the opportunities of the real world, right? How do they get a loan on their house if they want to buy a house or a car or a new phone, right? So vice versa, both ways. So we identified the core building blocks that are needed to build this metaverse. And there are some building blocks that you will see on the screen that are kind of legacy from the Web 2 world, but some that are being created just for this new world, right? So the AR, VR technologies, we heard Alex speak earlier, the property rights in this new world are going to be huge. and then the identity piece, which I touched on. So we identified some of these building blocks, and we came up with our core IP, our mission, which was to allow our customers to stay compliant while they partake in this new economy, while keeping compliant, build their identity, and then aggregate their assets. Like I said, aggregate their assets wherever they are, and then utilize these services. We are doing this for both B2C and B2B. So our APIs would be leveraged by the partners that choose to use our APIs to essentially use the KYC AML, the identity piece, and the entire the financial metadata that comes along with that. So we believe that we are gonna unlock a few use cases that are innovative. So to give you an example, we would allow people to use their, let's say, use their car. If we can value that car and lay claim to their title, use that car as collateral to buy a parcel of land in Decentraland, right? Or use their Bitcoin to buy or take mortgage on a parcel of land in Decentraland, and vice versa. If they have an expensive piece of metaverse real estate, they can use that as collateral to buy a real house, right? So it's bi-directional, and it goes, in multi directions. So this ability for us to build this foundational infrastructure for the metaverse, which then allows our customers to aggregate their assets, and really leverage the power of their assets regardless of the location of their assets, is what we are truly excited about. Where we are in our development journey is, we're currently towards the business end of the development phase. We are planning to launch our token and first release in September this year, and then we've got a few things lined up to happen after that. I'll be happy to connect with all of you on LinkedIn, and answer any questions you may have, and also open to any potential collaboration opportunities that may exist. Thanks, Alex. Thanks again for the opportunity.
Thank you.